Sorry, because we dreamed about this.
We dreamed about this. Like, I can't lie. Like, the whole thing, I get what people talk about, like manifestation. Is it manifestation?
They say manifestation, yeah.
Manifestation, that's the word. God, sometimes I be messing up my words.
Come on, man.
But manifestation, it's like, if you can't, bro, this was what we were talking about last time. You don't even have to be able to visualize it. You just have to almost understand what you don't know. And I feel like we always, from our conversations, we can tell that we had powerful things to say.
Absolutely.
You know, just from the way that we talk and the things that we talk about.
And think about how many conversations that are unfilmed that we had. We would have had 100 episodes.
Something like, I promise you guys.
So this is the dream, really. So we're here. We're here. Episode what?
Episode 1. Well, no, this is really
episode 2, but like this is a special one.
Of course. So, well,
take it away.
Okay, guys, welcome to Something Inspirational, #Sum Inspirational. And today with us, we have a special guest, but not really a special guest because he's really been here before the start of this inception of this idea. Like, this idea wasn't created within a vacuum. You know what I'm saying? Like, this idea has been with us for a while. And my brother here, Mugisha, he's been with us for a while. And so, I'm really just glad that we can have him here today. That was kind of one reason I stopped filming after the Dr. Ainsley Curia monologue, but great guest and everything. And I think just from our conversation and the way he approached things and really talking about how our presence as Black men have been called within campuses before our time. We've had people, ancestors before us, you know, wanting us to be here. And I think that was just extremely moving. And I said, I can't just, you know, do this without the person that we were really starting this with. And so
tell them how it started, though.
Tell them how it started.
The story of how it began, because I feel like
you can look at me, look at the guests too.
It's only right. I'm new to this, but I'm going to become true to this. But it's only right that we say how it started, because I feel like humble beginnings, when you look back on them, you really think, how far did we come? And I think the vision really started in a restaurant.
It's like in a restaurant
at a conference. And it was like, who would have thought we would get all the way to here? Well, we were filming it off of voice memos, right?
Wait, that's
dude,
really
I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, wow.
I'm trying to tell you, filming it off of voice memos, walking down the street within our youth conference with other
It was
youth.
after Tita's tie, by the way.
After Tita's, was it after Tita's tie or was it after the Zaytoon? I think it was after Zaytoon.
It was after Zaytoon?
Bro, my memory, I remember. After Zaytoon, we walked with everyone.
And that's when we started.
And that's how we started.
So I'm just shouting out Tita's tie.
We have to shout out Tita's tie. Actually, to be honest, we really have to shout them out now because I think they just got firebomb, which is insane. Prayers go out to anyone who got hurt or anything that happened, because that's crazy. But yeah, I think it's really important to say the story of how we started. And I think now that we're here, visualizing the fact that we were saying, like, I'm coming to Vancouver, we're going to film episodes. And now we're actually,
I can't lie.
It's insane.
God's timing.
Only.
Yeah. Amen. And it was just a funny shout out to YPM as well. Youth Parliament in Manitoba. They really brought us together. And I guess like this kind of tends to follow, maybe not today's really conversation that we're headed towards. Today's topic is, do we as humans have a natural inclination to follow? But I think what I wanted to mention was just the brotherhood that we have and how we were able to form that through bonding off of trauma.
And that sounds kind of crazy when you say like trauma bonding. I think that has a certain connotation towards it. Yeah. But tell them how a friendship really starts off of hardship, especially the real ones.
I agree. I almost feel like we should talk about then hedge-betters and how
and the all-inners.
Is that all we're gonna? Okay.
Is that what we're gonna get into?
I think we should get into that. Okay. Because that ties into our brotherhood and everything. Honestly, that might just be like what we talk. And see, guys, this is why we like. It was different when it was a guest. But we're really brothers, and so I feel like we can't create a structure like this is what we're going to talk about.
The synergy, the way it works out, like even the way when I start talking, he stops talking, and vice versa. It's the chemistry is too good. So we might have a topic, and it might not go in that direction, but trust me, it'll all tie back by the end, and you'll understand the vision. Of course, some inspiration,
and don't forget what this podcast is called, guys. Or what this experience is called.
Experience, not even a podcast.
It's an experience. We want you guys to talk with us too. You know, like when we stop, have a thought. Like, you know, really, because we don't want, and maybe this is why we came to today's topic, like we don't want followers, but we want people engaging responsibly with the content that we're putting out, with the words that we're sharing. Because you might find some things inspirational, but you also might find some things counterintuitive to the way that you live your life. And so we want you to be not only like aware of that, but also like engaged. Say like, actually, this is how I see it, because we're all working towards finding this sense of like not even accomplish, but the sense of arrival to whatever the destination is together. And so,
and for a lot of people, that's like truth.
That's true.
I think it's like we're all trying to find our truth. And I think when we can start to realize that like we all have different forms or versions of what truth is. But when we come together and have these conversations, we can realize, oh, we're more similar than we thought. Or even if we are different, we can go away from those conversations being like, you know what he or she said or what they said is actually a lot bigger than my own personal biases. And I think that's the whole point of this. So.
Of course. And I can't lie. So I'm like not sure where we are right now, but let's go back to hedge-betters.
Okay. And so, explain this concept to me, because hedge-betters, you said this term, you just put it out, and I was like, what does this mean?
Okay. So I feel like this term kind of comes from my experience this summer at Boston Consulting Group, not endorsed or anything.
Okay.
I feel like I can't even mention, you know what? I'm not mentioning anything related to the work that I've done or did or will do. I'm just sorry for that. So,
this guy always doing this.
But so this summer I worked on health AI, but I think like getting to experience what it meant to be in a very corporate environment opened a lot more doors to the other finance type consulting roles, just like / tech opportunities that exist. And I learned a bit more about like quant trading. And actually what those guys do is super impressive. Like they have satellites up there, like really betting against, I'm not sure what they're betting against the market, because they want to see, can we beat the market every single year? And like the market is the stock market, and they're guys that are like making billions being super invested in this and whatnot. But so they call them hedge funds. And
hedge funds,
hedge funds, hey, if y'all recruiting them here. But so like betting is more of just like you make a bet and it cashes out sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. And so this term kind of came to me because I realized like I just had I think it's like a specific friend, brilliant person, super smart, super intelligent, and very outgoing, very bubbly. But sometimes it just felt like they weren't really fully invested. It felt like they were not betting on me, but creating bets in situations where I wasn't sure if I should be able to like perform. And I can get more into that by saying, like, for example, it's kind of hard without saying names.
Yeah, I know.
There's something happening and it's just like, I'm like, hey, like we should do this. And just like kind of like a lack of like engagement, like, I'm not
lack
sure. Lack of commitment, you know, where you're not really sure if you can trust these people. And I'm an all in type of person. Like if I'm doing something, I want to go all in on the idea because I genuinely believe in a mission. And I think that's how I live my life. That's how I live my relationships. It's like, if I trust you, like I'm not really trying to take a step out. I'm all in for this. This is what this really is.
What this is.
He's in Vancouver right now, guys. He's not from Vancouver. He's from Winnipeg.
From Winnipeg, yeah.
Flew all the way out here to see me. I was in Toronto. It's like we're all in on this thing that we call life. And it just felt sometimes that this person really wasn't. And it felt like the love was kind of conditional. And it made me question like, hey, if I wasn't doing as well, if hardship comes, would I be able to trust them? Like, you know, we're talking about it, you know, this year was a little hectic for me and I reached out to this guy and I was like, man, I'm not sure about school and everything. And he's like, let's figure this out.
It was a tough one, I can't lie. I know you're thinking back, you know, and he's like, yo, let's figure this out. Like, let's talk and all of that stuff. And I was like, okay, like, and he really just helped ground me. And I wasn't sure if this person, like, he might just be like, all right, like, let me know when you're back or something like that. And that's the difference. Like, I feel like when we start to compare a hedge better and an all-inner, that's what we're going to call them.
All-inners? That sounds tough.
You know what I mean? But I think it's like...
Inners?
Severance? Okay, but the tough show. Oh my goodness, tough show. But maybe another episode we'll talk about it. But all-inners and hedge betters, it's like you have people in your life who are going to be for you and are going to be for you. And like it's reciprocated and it's mutual. And I think the amount that you ride for each other is the same. And I feel like when you have to question in a decision, and you're putting more weight on the decision than the loyalty to your brother or your friend or your sister or that person you have beside you, I think that's when you start to know, is that person really by my side? Or are they hedging their bets on a decision? And I think that's the comparison right there. So even when we get into talking about it, it ties into what you were saying, hardship. It's like in them times of hardship,
of course,
everything ties together. I promise everything ties together. And we will tie it back to the following part because we have another friend. But we'll just say like for now, I think the hardship part, because in hardship, you don't know whether a person will really be on your side or whether they're hedging their bets or they're trying to figure out a decision. And I think it's like we met in hardship, right?
We met
at that youth conference the first time around, because that was the third time we thought about this podcast. But the first time around, it was hardship. This guy's watch got stolen. Everything, a lot of things were going on. People were getting kicked out. It was crazy, right?
Guys, it was scary.
It was scary. But knowing that like there was someone you could trust beside you, and having to suss everyone out, but being able to see that through thick and thin, that person was able to be honest with you.
100%.
That builds that hardship to where you know this is someone all in with me. And it's not someone who's hedging their bets. And then when hardship comes again, you know what's going to happen. And you know they won't be a hedge better. They will be all in with you.
Of course. And the thing was like, when this was happening, my watch got stolen. Even though we just met, it was on the second day too.
Yeah.
Or the third. It was just
something like that.
Because it was like immediately after we met and I was asking around, and it was just all of a sudden now it became something where an experience where you can meet new people, kind of try to suss out the vibe, get to know whether or not y'all can be friends.
Yes.
To hey, something big just happened.
Who can I trust around?
Who can I? And so immediately I felt like everyone had to go all in. We didn't really have the opportunity to kind of hedge our bets, because if you're moving a little, and the real reason we found out who it was, we found out who it was, yeah. And the reason we found that out because it was different. It was like it didn't really feel like they were all. It was like
they were hedging their bets. They were. If you start seeing, they were writing things down, like a plan of how they. It was. It was devious. When you think about it, it was so devious, like borderline on some illegal stuff. It's kind of crazy
stuff.
Coordinates being like it was wild. I was low-key scared. I won't even lie.
I felt scared.
I was like, but when we started figuring it out, the nerves settled because it was like. We see what the guy's trying to do. He's hedging his bets. He's also scared. You know, you realize he's also scared. That's what I'm saying. Like with the hedge betters, like go ahead.
That's why we could tell, because it was like something was just different about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that kind of ties into our next friend. And this guy, he's someone I love.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, you know who you are.
You know who you are. You know who you are. And if you don't, if you don't, come on, man. But
anyway, but we got so much love for this guy, and it felt like he had love for us too. And we let someone come in between us, which that was problematic. And I'll take accountability. It's kind of my fault too, but not really. But it was just like communication, guys, is always necessary. Key. But he was someone I'd consider one of my generals. He was always there for me. I run a nonprofit, Wake Up Mental Health. Where we provide, not me,
not you shouting it out. We gotta get a hat right here. We gotta wear it.
Okay, we don't have it right here.
But yeah,
but we run workshops for youth where we teach them proactive methods to deal with their mental health. And so I remember telling him about the idea.
That's something inspirational, by the way.
That is. Well, I mean, we're really trying to inspire the world in just our own little ways. After conversations, I always walk away feeling like we can genuinely figure this out.
And there's no problem too big.
There's no problem too big.
Absolutely.
And so I remember. So yes, and I asked them, "Hey, would you be fine with running a workshop for me?" And I asked other few people. They're talking about I can get back to you and everything. And there's nothing wrong with that, honestly. Like I want to say, like I understand everyone has their own life and things that they have to do and commitments and the whole boom. But this guy, I asked him on day one, on day two. Maybe day one and night. On day two, he got back to me and he asked, like, where do I send the pictures after taking the pictures for the session?
No questions asked.
And I said, oh, do you want to know beforehand? He said, no, I ran a workshop. Where would you like me to put the pictures where we can take it in?
Wow.
And I was just stunned, someone who I think it wasn't even he believed in the mission, but he believed in me, and having someone like that at your side where I felt like he was a follower, not like a follower, like how some people think you're followers, but he believed in me and he was willing to follow me into whatever vision or path or walkway that I wanted to get us into. And he had a lot of trust in me and he had a lot of love for me.
And I feel like it's important to say that even in that follower statement, it's we're all leaders and followers to some capacity, right? And I think it's truly one of the most humble things you can do is finding someone you can follow. We all have mentors, we all have people we look up to. And it's but when you notice someone, you have the responsibility of being a leader and someone truly wants to follow you, like this friend that we had, and I want to say still have, because I don't think friendships just end like that. I think they can really reinvigorate. But if you know who you are, maybe we can. But you know what I mean? But I'll say
is this our call out?
Is this our call out for love? What we really do. But I'll say in that you were able to notice someone who really wanted to follow your vision, right? And you saw that he was what? All in. He wasn't hedging his bets.
All from the get-go, from like the moment we met, and because we actually met at a conference in Winnipeg, and it took us
before
we met, but it was just like, I think at that point I ran a session, he was interested, and then we talked more, and then he was also doing YPM, so I got excited to see him, and like that whole thing kind of added into just this beautiful relationship where that, like, he's still my brother to this day, despite the paths we walk in. And I feel like we talked about this, right? Where friendships don't end. And even if they do, it just means like a lesson, a chapter in your book is closed.
Absolutely.
But you still have the whole book to write.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's what it was. It's like, even when the falling out was happening, it was trying to understand that, like, people, I was trying to make him understand, because like they were closer friends. For me, the falling out wasn't as hard because it was still one of my closest friends. But I think it was a thing where I saw that it affected Ridwan a lot more than me. So it was like, I was just trying to console him and be like, but I think it was a thing where I was trying to help him understand, or like see my perspective, where it's like that cliche saying, friends come and go. I think it's more of a beautiful thing than a bittersweet thing. And it is bittersweet, but I think it's understanding that a friendship is one of the most authentic, least forced relationships. It's so out of someone's own volition and willingness, and versus a relationship that's blood bound, or that's even relationships that are romantic, where it feels like from the start there's a commitment of longevity. And I feel like in friendship that doesn't exist. Whether we're friends for just today or we're friends for 5 years, you don't know. That first meeting, it's like, I just love your energy, I love who you are, and I really love this moment. And I think when you start putting timelines on it and things like that, that authenticity is ruined. But I think most friendships don't have that. And you really look up and you're like, wow, we've been friends for X amount of time. And we haven't been friends for that long, but our connection is so strong. And I feel like even today I was with my friend Brendan, who's also at UBC. Shout out you, Brendan.
Okay, so we're just saying names. I can't lie.
Okay, we're saying names for good things, because I feel like it's not
a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but so I was with him today, and there was like, we looked up, I was like, someone asked us, how long you guys been friends? How long? I was like, we've been friends for 12 years. And when you think about it, it's like,
12 years?
Dude, when we were grade 7, okay, 12, I kind of inflated it. Since we were 12, so since 9 years, going on a decade though. And it's just like, you don't think about these things until you think about them, right? It's like, we've been friends for that long. But that's the thing with friendship, right? Yeah. You don't think about that. Whereas, guess what, for a relationship? We have 6 months. We have 1 year anniversary. 2 years. It's like we're counting the years.
It's like we almost need that justification for the reason that we are.
Exactly. And I love the way you said that. We need that. We're going to have to write that down. That's next podcast. We need that justification for the reason that we are. Right?
For the way that we, I think I said
really for the reason that we are. We'll run it back. We'll see that. But yeah, I think that's the thing. That's the beautiful thing. And romantic relationships are amazing. We all want, or most of us, a lot of us want to find that person in our life that we can really build something with, that lasts a lifetime, that we can start families with for a lot of people. And I think a friendship is beautiful in that sense, where like, it's that person that can walk you through that part of life. And I was trying to tell him that maybe that part of life, that this person who we fell out with, he served his purpose in that time, and it was beautiful. And if it ends now, it's like, it's not to be bitter about, but it's more to look at the sweet side of bittersweet. And I think it's to understand that it was sweet to have that person in our life, right? And he taught us a lot. We wouldn't have even understood this concept of hedging bets and all this. This podcast probably wouldn't have happened if he wasn't in our life. So it's like, it's to say that, and I'm sure he's learned so many things from being our friend as well. That's how friendships work. And I think that's the beauty of it all. But I think the time, the all-in hedge-better, even though he's not someone that ended up being our friend for this long, we don't know if it'll rekindle or not. He was all in.
All in.
And that's the special part.
And that's what separates, I think, like, friendships from relationships. Because with relationships, you can be all in. And I feel like we talked about this, where we say, like, we use the term friendship too loosely. Because a lot of people are acquaintances that you sort of know. And I feel like friendships, like, they've almost gotten watered down, where everyone's saying, that's my friend, that's my friend, that's my friend. And I think, like, we almost stop valuing what a true friendship means, right?
Absolutely.
Like, the people right here, you guys can't see them again, but they were there last time, Josiah and Elisha. Like, these are people, I feel like ours is almost elevated friendship too. I consider y'all my brothers, you know, like, he gives them back, but it's like generally because these guys, like, they saw a vision that I had, and I think they were willing to follow that. And I think I'm almost like their followers as well, where whatever way I can do to support these guys, because they're generally amazing guys. Like, they went to New York, had their things showcase like in New York. They went to Italy to go like learn like
that's some inspirational.
That's like and it's like just seeing the way that these guys are living their lives that gets me excited about what do I want to do? Where do I want to
And guess what happens? You follow their vision. It becomes a give and take thing. And I think it's like when you have that person that's your brother or your friend, who's your real friend to the point of brotherhood or sisterhood for whoever was watching, I think it's like understanding that, wow, I can follow their vision at times and they can follow mine. And it's like, but because we're all in, it comes back to this thing of all in. I'm all in with you and you're all in with me. Whatever you're going to do, no questions. Like, I know that I'm going to, especially if it's something you're passionate about and you feel strongly about, I'm going to heed your warning and I'm just going to say, you know what, let's do it. Right? Let's do it. I'm all in, right? Even last night when we were out. This is a perfect example of being all in, but we were out, we were outside, right? We were walking around and it was like, I was like, let's go here. And everyone was like, let's not go here. And I was like, I really wanted to. For him, it didn't mean as much. He saw how much it meant to me and he was like, let's just do it. No questions asked. He was joking around. I knew we were going to go the whole time, but it was like knowing that he's all in for me, it validates that thing for where a time when he's going to come and say, oh, I need something or let's do this. And I don't feel so strongly about it. Guess what? I'm all in. We're doing it.
And I think that's, I feel like I was almost going to say like, we're starting to turn back into that conversation we had about like, we're all just selling dreams. And
everything ties together,
of course. But I quickly want to answer because the question that we started off with is like, do we as humans have a natural inclination to follow? And I think that we do, and we should almost stop like fighting that. I think a lot, like especially nowadays, we fight that. Like, I don't want to be a follower. Like, I don't want to listen to you. And I think like as long as you have trust, if you surround yourself with the right people, you don't have to worry about listening because you're not like you don't even see it that way. Like it's almost like. If you're with someone that you love being around and they're like, hey, like, let's go get ice cream. You're not thinking like, oh, I'm following them to get ice cream. It's
perfect.
It's not they're getting ice cream and I'm following. It's we're getting ice cream.
Absolutely.
And so I think we answer that. I think, yes, we do as humans have a natural inclination. It's just more about like, how do we surround ourselves with the right people who help us be the right sort of follower, be the right sort of leader. And again, I love what you said about like, even us being followers when it comes to like having mentors, when it comes to like having leaders, like I think like you're not able to learn unless you become a follower because to follow eventually means to lead.
Come on,
you have to be able to follow first, you know? And so I guess like then this ties into a conversation then about like finding the right person. And I think this is what it means to co-invest in a dream.
BCG terms.
No, BCG terms is like being directionally correct.
Okay. This guy.
We can talk about that
okay,
too.
Let's co-invest in the dream.
So it's like, I think there are three things. Number one, people selling dreams to you. Number two, you buying dreams. And number three, co-investing in dreams. And I think you can be both a buyer and a seller for both different reasons. But once you begin co-investing in a dream, that's when you start seeing success happen. And the reason I say this is because the guys helping me record and who brought this, helped me, because they really brought this vision to life. I wouldn't have been able to do this without them.
Come on.
Like they co-invest. They I don't even think they bought a dream that I sold.
This was a co-investment.
This was a co-investment. I feel like I'm also co-investing because I want to see these guys succeed so much. Mm-hmm. It's just like, and so that's like everyone's sort of winning, you know. Mm-hmm. But when you sell a dream, and I've been sold a few dreams right now. I'm selling
when someone sells you a dream, there's always someone who gets the short end of it.
There's always, you know, and so like that's why you always want to co-invest. But I also feel like there's nothing wrong with and that's the thing, because there's nothing wrong with getting the shorthand. Mm-hmm. If you're also receiving a shorthand sometimes too, but that's why they call it co-investment.
Co-investment, yeah. And I think that's more when it's like it happens for the same dream, I guess, where okay, here I get the short end, here they get the short end. But when it's like you're getting the short end, but you don't know it, you're being sold a dream. And you don't even know it. That's the thing. Some people are so good with words, this guy included.
No, guys.
Y'all know for those who know him, y'all know he's good with words. And like, it's a natural thing where you start selling dreams that you honestly get excited and you start speaking about what you want to do and you sell a dream to someone and they might not even know they're being sold this dream. And it's crazy the types of salesmanship going on. I think it really needs to be studied. Honestly, everyone needs to do some type of research paper on this because it's actually wild when you think about it. And I think it's the point where it's like they're buying a dream, and I think when you're buying something, you're still receiving something on the other end. You're still receiving something. And even though that may be the short end because it's not a co-investment, I think it's like if you are able to get that same excitement that someone's telling you, and you're able to understand their dream and be like, I want to be a part of this. Maybe not invest in it because you're not selling anything to me, but I want to be a part of this in a certain way. And I think it's understanding that those three levels, they coexist and they interplay with each other. And yeah, I think that really kind of encompasses, and I like how everything's kind of coming together: selling dreams, following and thinking.
We've probably covered like 3 episodes.
Really, that's honestly, yeah. And I think that just goes to show you the layout of this podcast being the first episode where we're together. I think it's important to know that this is the type of podcast where you may come hearing that a topic is being spoken about, but a lot of different things. We're going to go a lot of different places, and we might.
It's an experience.
It's an experience. It's not even a podcast. It's an experience. And I think in an experience, you're going to look back and be like, on the second quote unquote episode or third episode, we might even mention stuff from the first episode, and everything's going to tie together. And I want it to be something where it's like, by the 100th episode, you can start by the 100th and understand stuff we're talking about from the first. That's what an experience, something that's never seen before. Yes. I was just thinking like, I want this to change the world, genuinely.
And things, see, because I know that.
I just told you a dream, didn't I?
You're trying to tell me a dream right now. I'm not talking about. Well, honestly, because I feel like you want things to change the world.
Yeah.
But for me, I'd almost be fine if this didn't even go anywhere, and one person saw and they saw all our episodes. I'm kind of like starting to tear up because I'm thinking about something else. But the reason I say that is because, like, I think in life you just need one person to believe in you. You need one person to see like a light within you. And there's this thing like it was with this girl. Yeah, I can say girl.
Okay.
It was like a friend, right? I'm not going to say her name, but we want to go grab food one day, and this was the first time we're grabbing food. But they were very, very, very like intellectually like stimulating. Like I love talking to them, and so while we're grabbing food, and this is the first time I think anyone's really asked me this, but maybe in a different way. But she said like, "Why do you do it? Like who are you doing this for?" And it can't be yourself. And for some reason, I talked about like doing it for. Because as a kid, I felt like I lacked certain things. And I didn't really have like access to like technology and things like that, like younger, right? Which I think it's not something that I lacked on, but it felt like compared to my peers and other people around me, I was missing out. And so, which is, I think is why I love technology and being able to use that to like change lives, which we're doing all different forms of like media of tech. Right. But so I go like, I think the reason I do this is because I know there's a kid out there somewhere who's watching this who wants to follow something, who wants to follow a vision, who wants to understand, who just wants to grab onto a lifeline, like a lifeboat or something, and they're struggling and they're just like looking for something to hang on to. And I see you because I was that kid. Wow. You know, like in high school, I wasn't really like, I came in, I was focused on school, but I think my life didn't really change until COVID. And I really truly have to spend time with myself once again. And I love myself, you know, like I think I'm a cool person and I'm not going to glaze at anything, but people know I love myself. You know, I make it very apparent, but I feel like the reason I make it so apparent is because I have to, based off of where I come from, based off of like my history and my past. And I think if somehow a kid like that can see this and grow inspired, which is why the word inspired, like, it's gonna keep coming up. This is generally like, because it's a difference to understand something or to like agree with something or to say like, oh, I support these values. Like, we want you to leave here, not even leave here because you're with us. You know, we want you to step out the boardroom or step out the coffee table or coffee table. Like, just
go ahead.
We want you to leave here feeling inspired. And the reason I do this is because I'm hoping like sometime, someday, some kid will come up to me and say like, not that I saved his life, her life, their life, but that this meant something to me, you know, like this, like I was able to follow my dreams and my passions because I saw how you lived your life. And I think that's how like I always live my life, in just the way where I want people to, I go up and say hi to random people sometimes, not, you know, just to say hi, but it's just like, because number one, I like meeting new people, but it's like to let people be free, to let them like feel this sense of there's nothing I have to prove to anyone. You're enough, you know? And that's how we met. I really came and I said, hi, like I see this tall guy and I'm like, who is it? He's kind of tall guy. Like, we can't see.
You can't see right now, but you know.
Which is good. You know, you know what? Who always really sitting down? We can't even be doing a walking episode.
But, yeah.
Like just seeing this guy, and I was like, who is he? And I just like, I want to talk to you. And that's turned into this. And I want people to kind of like let go, shed that fear of being different, and embrace this fear of the unknown. Embrace your curiosity, embrace your passion, embrace your inspiration. And if you can find something that you're ready to invest in, go all in, who knows how far you'll go? Like we were talking the other night, like the sky isn't the limit.
Sky isn't the limit. And we were saying that seeing the stars lets us know how much farther it goes. And I think you don't see the stars when you look up at the sky most times. When you look up on that special night and you see the stars, and it's like, there's a reason it's special. You don't see it all the time.
100%.
But for us, it was a reminder of how much further we can go, and how much further we can go even when we don't see it. You look up at the sky, the stars are there. You just don't see them.
Of course.
Right? But that moment when you do see them, it's a reminder that there's a level that I haven't even reached, or there's places that I can go that I didn't even know I could
get to. And I think that's one of the reasons I decided to come to Vancouver, where it's more of like a personal reason that actually I haven't told anyone.
Oh, wow.
But it's more
anyone?
Okay. Well, it's more of just like that reason where I needed to see like, and I'm a very profound guy. I like thinking a little deeper. And I just wanted a place to live where I could see the stars. You can't see the stars in Toronto, unfortunately. Like, like you have to go really far. But I just needed to be in a place where I could see. You got 10 minutes?
Nigga, no, it's fine.
Yeah, like we're telling you this is so authentic. We want you guys involved with everything.
Absolutely.
But I want to be in a place where I could see the stars, to understand that even though I can see it, like there's something beyond that. And there's something I saw recently on we'll call it Instagram Reel. Because, before we used to really say, I saw on a book, or I read on a book or something like that.
You always tell me that.
I'll be like, wait, would I really see this again? It was like on a reel. It was talking about like, you got to realize the only reason we see the sun is because it rotates around our planet. But for probably 99.9% of the world, or of like the universe, or the solar system, of the galaxy, it's always night. Because the universe is always eternally dark.
Absolutely. That's true.
And so it's almost like, that's why like at night, you start feeling a little different. Because I feel like it's almost the natural state of things. Where you become a little bit more truthful, you become a little bit more like yourself and whatnot. But I just had to come to a place where I could dream again, and not saying that I couldn't dream in Winnipeg. I think I could dream in Winnipeg. It felt more of like, this is the reason I'm doing it. These are the people I'm doing it. I love the people in the city. Everyone's so friendly. I feel like too many people hate on Winnipeg. And then my friends who go there will be like, it was such like, people would come up to me, like people were so always friendly, smiling, genuine, like, walking around. I think that's why they call us friendly Manitoba.
That's
on
the license plate.
On the license plate.
And that actually tells you a lot. When you look at these license plates, like you see how
beautiful British Columbia.
British Columbia. It's like more talking about the place, and that's why a lot of people come to British Columbia, because of the beautiful scenery and stuff like that. Whereas friendly Manitoba, it's talking about the people. Now, of course, that may be because the lack of scenery in Manitoba, which is not true, actually. Manitoba has a lot of scenery. Winnipeg, maybe not. But in Manitoba, I know you're making that face. Don't worry. I see you. Just because you got out. Don't worry, bro. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that same thing when I get up. But nah, genuinely, like Manitoba, I feel like we have, the beauty is in our people. And when we call it friendly Manitoba, it's for a reason. Like the people, and I know some people from Winnipeg, when we watch this, be like, but I genuinely promise, like when you step out and go to another place in the world, you realize like there's a homey feeling about Manitoba. It's not just because you're from there. It's the people. And it's like a level of humility, and it's a level of genuineness that comes within the people. And I don't know, I just thought about it. Like license plate really tells you like kind of what I know the one for Quebec is Je me souviens, and I haven't really been in Quebec a lot. You don't speak French, bro.
On the podcast too.
No.
On the podcast too.
You don't speak. He doesn't speak.
We're gonna cut this for him.
He does. Je me souviens. What does that mean then?
He said in Quebec.
Yeah. Je me souviens is the license plate. What does that mean?
Exactly. Can you?
Don't worry, bro. You got it. You got it. But je me souviens, it means I remember, right? But I don't really understand that because I haven't been to Quebec, but I feel like there's a reason, and you can find a reasoning in everything, and you find meaning in everything. That's the beautiful part about life in general. Like, you can really find meaning in anything. But I think that friendly Manitoba thing really is a real thing. And I think, I just had to add that in because Manitobans should know, like, there's a beautiful part about our province.
Where did Quebec come from? Like, that's what I'm trying to.
I really just wanted to give you a straight.
This is crazy work, guys. This whole week, flew in from Winnipeg in Vancouver. All my friends and what he's been. Oh my, it's actually been terrible. But you know what? We'll let you have this. This is a terrible way for me to go out.
You were gonna be on the next episode. Don't worry.
I'll just start the next episode. 5 minutes of pure French. Yeah. And tout parlons français. Tout parlons français is like, do you speak French? And
yes. I won't even say nothing else. Don't worry. You got it, bro. You got it. So you were saying why you couldn't dream of Winnipeg, right?
No. See, why is he talking about I couldn't dream?
No, you said you could dream in a different way, and you know the dream. No, I think I catch what you're saying. You know the dream, but when you come here, you don't even know
what I'm capable of, and I think like you just needed a different scenery, and it's just like I think that's something that I wanted to explore. You know, not even just like because I didn't love Winnipeg, because I do, and I genuinely love the people. And I'm actually working on something right now that's based in Manitoba, and we're working with like, I'm not sure if I can really say, but
I don't know what you can say, but
we have parties involved that genuinely want to see a province grow in such a way. And I think I had to do it back home because I understand how amazing the people are and how innovative, like the way we think, this was a co-investment from them.
It was. It really was.
I went all in, and they said, we'll match you where you are.
I think I was there when the initial interaction happened, which is crazy because like even when you say at the conference when you met him and I think that's crazy because you guys were having the conversation. And it's funny because like whenever we say a story, it's likely that the other person knows what we're talking about. Because I just be starting to think whenever you start a story, I'm like, do I know what he's talking about? Even when you're talking about the date earlier or the meeting with the friend, I was like, starting to think like, I think I know what you're talking about, right? But yeah, I think it's like I was there when it started and I was like seeing how it really went down. And it was really a co-investment, guys. Yeah. Even though this person, maybe you could say, is in a little bit more of a powerful position and they were older, of course, maybe that's why. I think it's understanding that it was really a co-investment and it was the prime example of it. And I think you can continue that story on, but yeah.
I mean, that was just the end of it. Like, I just want to say something's coming and I want to say that like out of love for the city. But being in BC has broadened my worldview where I meet other people. And it's like, again, take your kids to travel, take them to different countries. Like you just get to see a different kind of life. And I think being here, I saw that and I realized just how much further I want to take this. But the reason like this whole idea of even like, do we have a natural inclination to follow is because I feel like I want to be a follower. Like I genuinely don't see myself as a leader and I haven't for a while. I think that's been a term that's been placed upon me, but I think I just get very passionate about things and I excite other people. And I'm like, why don't we do this together? And I want to support you where you can grow in a way where you can now take this vision and turn it into your own. And I guess some people might call that leadership, but I think that's a human trait. That's what being human means. Absolutely. It's working together and everything. And it came out from like this guy I used to play basketball with, Windsor Park, shout out Windsor Park Collegiate. He was just always such a hard worker, always out on the court. He touched the line. Sometimes I cheat. No, sorry, coach. Always touched the line end to end. And I admired that. Like I wanted to be that. And I felt like if he was captain, I'd want to follow him because I could trust a guy like that where it's just the principles instilled within him. I can trust in everything.
And I think that's really it, where it's like understanding that the topic of this episode is following it. Like we'll really say it's following and leading. And I think it's important to understand that that is a natural trait to follow. And I think a lot of people, and you guys might think, oh, he's just chatting when he's saying, oh, he doesn't.
Well, yeah. Okay. So guys, welcome back. Camera actually.
They won't think it's welcome back because I don't think it's gonna be a cut. But like,
should we do a cut too? Should
put a cut intermission? Like camera died.
Camera
might have to do some edits. But
camera died. Like, you know SpongeBob. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we're about to start a whole nother conversation, so we got to be careful with this.
We got to be careful. But we're about to wrap up. Actually, that's the thing.
Yes,
camera did die.
So. But I just wanted to say, like, there's nothing wrong with being a follower. Because I think we all like almost being a follower is how you learn how to lead. And leadership is just a trait that I think everyone can develop. I think everyone already internally has. It's just a different sort of leader.
Absolutely.
And he was never the really like first to raise his hand guy or whatnot, but he was a leader in his own right. And that was someone I was willing to follow. And so, yeah, with that, we just want to say thank you guys all for joining us in this experience, for listening. And yeah, we're looking forward to you guys seeing what the next episode holds. Hopefully we'll be with like another, probably like professor or even like someone on campus or someone even within the city or someone within the world. We might have to fly people. Talk about flying now. Well, See, there's certain things we might not even be able to say.
Yeah,
here,
there's just too inside jokes. But once I get part of the family, maybe we'll
add exactly. Y'all, hey, first episode, y'all see, really second one, but it's like, give us some time and then we'll open up a little bit more.
By the time y'all are, if those who come back for the next episode, we'll know you're really family and we'll start saying, that's incentive, really. I mean, I'm not trying to manipulate, but like, if you want to get into the inside joke club, come back to the next episode.
Hey, and if you catch us like around on the street and whatnot, you can really just be like, oh, how's this person doing? You can really just be like, they're doing good.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So I feel like it's really about being inspirational, and it's Sum Inspirational.
Sum Inspirational. All right, guys. See you on the next one.